Joining us now to talk about a little bit of everything, I guess, is a Republican Congressman from the great state of Virginia, David Brat, author of American Underdog, Proof That Principles Matter. There it is on your TV screen. Congressman, great to see you, sir. And I got to tell you, I admire you so much for what you did from the beginning, undertaking the effort to unseat someone as powerful as Eric Cantor, succeeding and then winning the congressional seat outright. You're just to be congratulated and admired.
Yeah, thanks much. I got the best district in the country, so they made it happen. But I'm happy to serve them. So
before we get into all this, let me ask you. Well, first of all, where do you stand on Donald Trump?
Yeah, I didn't endorse anyone in the primaries, and then after he won, he came in and helped me, along with Rand Paul and Cruz and Ben Carson. And so I got a bunch of friends coming in. I didn't want to get in the middle of it. But after I said I'd endorse whoever won, and so I'm endorsing Trump. Right. And I think he's going to win in November. What
about the leadership? What about Paul Ryan, Mitch McConnell? McConnell was on Sunday shows the other day, and Stephanopoulos said, is he qualified? Well, I'm going to let the voters decide that. And Ryan has been all over the place. Yeah. Why aren't they aiming their fire at Hillary, who's the most flawed candidate probably ever to run for president? And how do you feel about Ryan and his challenger, Paul Nehlen, trying to do exactly to Ryan what you did to Cantor?
Yeah, well, I don't think the leadership class up in D.C.'s got the lesson yet. I mean, the people are infuriated with our lack of fight for 7 years, right? Foreign policy, economics, executive oversight. I came in a year and a half ago on Obama's unconstitutional amnesty, EPA, overreach, IRS, intrusion, investigating conservatives.
Doesn't stop.
And so it's just on and on and on. This week, the bathroom issue. Last week, poison pills, the Democrat side. They're sitting crisscross applesauce on the House floor 3 days ago. Ruined the session, poison pill. The press doesn't cover it. And our guys just will not. You have to spend time, and it has to be a concentrated effort to explain to the American people what the trade-offs are. Right? We are bankrupt. The country is broke. The unfunded liabilities are $100 trillion. The kids will not have any of the major programs, right? In about 18 years, Medicare, Social Security are all wiped out. No one shared any of this. The debt in 10 years will be $30 trillion. If you're feeling the burn, it'll be $40 trillion.
Right.
And so Trump has filled a vacuum, and our guys spend more time hammering him than hammering Obama, Hillary today. And we'll see, right, whether the investigation from the committee is now picked up by our own leadership to do what they got to do.
And what are the odds of that happening?
It's been low so far, but I mean, our side, we're just waiting. The people have to speak out, right? I had a great race because of the people, right? The people in my district, I'm kind of lucky. We got Madison, Jefferson, Patrick Henry, right? It's in our DNA.
Oh, yeah.
And so I've got that district, and so we need the rest of the country to get that same fervor.
Has Paul Nehlen reached out to you at all? Have you spoken to him at all?
No, haven't spoken to him yet.
Would you be interested in going there and helping him?
I talk to everybody. I don't endorse in primaries because I didn't like the top Cantor, and my area ran a top-down mafia-style politics I hated. Right. So I don't tell people how to vote. But I do list my principles always. I ran on the Republican Creed of Virginia, and kind of like a contract with America kind of thing. And I encourage everyone to vote according to those principles, and I think they differentiate between, people are devoted to the free market system versus cronies and et cetera.
But you would like to see, I mean, the Republicans, all of them, I mean, start aiming at Hillary, driving home that she takes millions of dollars from countries that kill gays, driving home she's under FBI investigation, driving home this Benghazi report. I mean, it seems like it's a sin that the whole Republican Party is giving her a pass.
Right, and we don't go big on any of the public policy stuff. Education, that is the economy in 20 years. Yeah. I taught economics for 20 years at college. Kids didn't know what a business was coming out of high school. You can't have that, right? I mean, so the economic policy's off, the programs are off, and then the book goes into the things that made this country great, the 3 pillars. The Judeo-Christian tradition has been under assault by the left for 40 years, right? The 60s radicals now, right, were in Harvard 40 years ago, now they're running the country. And then the rule of law is under assault. Our officers, police officers, are brave and heroic every day, and they're under assault, like they're the bad guys.
And Obama has perpetuated the attack onto the Judeo-Christian ethic, and also the law, police officers.
On the law, and then the third pillar in the book is the free market system. D.C. does not. I mean, I'm not exact. They don't know what the free market system is. Right. It's what made us rich and the greatest country on the earth. Those 3 pillars propped us up, and we're losing it. Brexit, same thing.
Yeah, well, Donald Trump said today that the wave of globalization has wiped out totally our middle class. You agree with that?
Yeah, wages have been flat for the middle class for 30 years. It's done deal, right?
So
something we haven't addressed,
change.
right?
Why did you call the book American Underdog?
That just had to do with the politics and the election, right? I spent whatever $200,000, and my opponent spent
right? So
$5
it was
million.
relating to you,
yeah.
not related to the country's prognosis
Nope.
going forward.
Nope.
Yeah. Okay. So that's interesting. When you see these terror attacks,
Yeah.
What we saw today in Turkey,
Yep.
and this is before they go through, any screening.
Yeah.
They know it's a soft target before they get to the security counter. I mean, it just should frighten everyone in our country, because how would we combat that? You can't.
Right. I've been messaging in my district. The Muslim Brotherhood has a document out from the Holy Land trials 20, 30 years ago. It looks like a Presbyterian evangelical plan, except it's the Muslim radical.
Yep.
And there's a difference between our tradition, right, that came out of the Greeks, human reason, going through the Judeo-Christian. Ours resulted in the First Amendment. And Jefferson and Madison were most proud of their doctrines on religious toleration. But these were great men. They did not anticipate complete intolerance, right, of a sect that is completely, and they're using our virtue against us in this country.
Right. This is a nonviolent jihad you're talking about. Right. Infiltrating. You believe the Muslim Brotherhood has infiltrated government agencies?
Oh, they're in everything. I had a young woman in from Egypt a couple weeks in my office in D.C., 4-star generals. I mean, we have groups right around the corner from my Cannon office building. You can guess where they are. You can go look them up. They're in every level infiltrating the government, and it's not a conspiracy. It's announced. It's public.
Right.
And they say,
and it's ignored by the media.
Yeah, and they put their objectives down on paper. And so many years, for our first 5 years, we're going to do this, and then 10 years we get to here. I mean, it's announced.
And and the FBI can't, their training manuals have been wiped of radical Islam.
Right.
You can't question a Muslim without a Muslim being present. I mean, we have done everything. Am I right?
Yeah.
Does it seem, from someone coming down from Mars, you're doing everything your enemy would like you to do? Is that not right?
No, absolutely. The left, they used to be liberals, right? And the key, our founders were all keyed in on reasoned freedom and reasoned liberty. We've lost the reason part.
Yep.
We're welcoming folks who say their goal is to take over our country, replace our rule of law with their rule of law.
Yep.
And it's got to change. The American people, it's an 80% issue, and I don't know why. Our leadership's got to get strong on that.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you only knew the congressman from afar as he was beating Cantor and didn't know too much about him until now, wow, I'm really impressed. Where the hell have you been for this whole time? Great to see you.
Steve.
Keep the faith. And the book,
will.
folks, American Underdog by Congressman David Brat. Pick it up.